What a load of old shit. Hey everybody, it's the Flying Pig here. How you doing? Hope you're having a good one. It's just a post-match reaction from me today for the Astana, the FK Astana, aka the FK Farmer game. Because they are a bunch of farmers at the end of the day. But versus Manchester United, they've just beaten us 2-1. In Kazakhstan, Borat Sagdayev with the winner. He's the third best goal scorer in all of Kazakhstan. But anyway, no, fair play to them. They're actually a decent team. The way they played, the way they set up, the effort from the guys. You could tell it's like an FA Cup final from then today. But they have beaten Manchester United 2-1 in the Europa League. Now, it's a game that doesn't really mean anything for United. We got the kids out there. It's the youngest United side in a European competition, basically, ever. We took only 4 first-team players over there. I think Luke Shaw, Angel Gomez, Greenwood, not even really and Jesse Lingard, not even really the most experienced of the first-team players. Jesse Lingard, the most experienced player we got, I suppose, as well as Lee Grant, the goalie, 36 years of age, but making his debut for United. So it's a complete mishmash of youth. There were so many United debutantes out there. They were all so young. The inexperience throughout the squad was evident to see. But largely, the young players did an alright job, to be fair. It's just that the fact that we couldn't see out the game. The first half performance from the young guys was great. The way that they're keeping hold of the ball, passing it around, keeping their shape. Organisation was all there from the young lads. Great to see, because let's face it was such a young team. You're talking about a lineup. Look at the lineup at the bottom of the screen here that I've got here. A lot of these players, most United fans will not really have heard of, unless you follow the youth setup extensively. Some of these players you won't have actually heard of, and they were playing United and representing United in European competition. So that's actually great. It's brilliant that we're doing that. The youngest look side, Solskjaer's gone there. He's given the older players a bit of a rest this week as well. Hopefully that will help us out. And he's given the youth players an opportunity to go out there and impress. And you know what? Some of them did. The likes of Laird at right back, I thought Laird at right back making his debut was very lively. Some of the challenges he's gone into, some of the overlapping runs with Chong down the right-hand side. Very positive performance from Laird. There were some decent performances in there throughout, but mostly it was a bitter disappointment. Mostly it was a bit of a gash-tastic game. Mostly it was dreary. In that second half anyway, it just all went to pot. I mean, we were sort of popping it off and passing it around and moving up the pitch, advancing up the pitch really nicely in that first half. Second half, it just didn't really happen for us. It's a shame because Tahith Chong had a moment in the game which I'm going to call the melter of the moment. It was an absolute melt of the match. And that is Tahith Chong. What are you doing, Tahith? Okay. I'm stopping the comparisons now. I said that he was like a young Ruud Gullit. I said he was like a Ruud Gullit in terms of the specimen, in terms of the hair, in terms of the style. But Rudy Gullit on his worst day would not miss that one, I'm pretty sure. That was a granddaddy of a chance. Anybody's granddad could have stuck that chance in. And that would have given us the 2-0 lead. And it would have basically won us the game. So that was a huge melt of the moment of the match. Huge melt of the match moment there by Tahith Chong. And they've gone up the other end and actually got the equaliser and then scored to get the winner 2 minutes later. So it was a huge melt of a moment in that match. Just want to emphasise that. But we're not going to all blame it on Tahith Chong. People are allowed to miss sitters. Rashford missed a worse sitter last week. Players miss sitters all the time, okay? It happens. We're not going to judge your overall performance on a sitter. But it does leave a pretty big stain on the performance for Tahith Chong. But throughout the game, throughout the first half, Tahith was actually very positive, getting down that right-hand side, overlapping, him and Baird connecting nicely. It was just an absolute sitter of a moment. But we're not gonna blame Tahith for that, is all I'm saying. The first goal by United, let's just give credit where credit's due. Jesse Lingard's had a very good first half, to be fair to him. He scored the goal for United to give us the lead, and boy, oh, what a goal it was. A nice little smashed freaking stabbed rat into the bottom right-hand corner for United. Nice finish. Good confidence from him, captain in the side, coming out there, the most experienced player outfield on the pitch for us. And he played like it, to be fair, for the first half. Really good display by Jesse Lingard. Am I impressed? In the words of Shania Twain, no, that doesn't impress me much. Because He's doing it against a bunch of Kazakhstani farmers here, to be fair. If you have enough shots on goal, you will score one. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have very many shots on goal. He's been absolutely bloody shit for a year. He's been shit for 12 months. One game, one goal against Astana is not going to change that for me. I just hope that Solskjaer, who has shown faith in Lingard this season, amidst all the shit performances that he's put in, I just hope that this doesn't actually make him think, do you know what, Jesse Lingard's actually a dependable player. He's somebody we can rely on. Do you know what I mean? He's a leader. He's a captain. I really hope that Solskjaer does not come to that conclusion, because I don't rate him at all. I don't think he should be anywhere near the starting 11. You're talking about who's been shittest at United over the last year. It's a toss-up between him, Phil Jones and the manager Twatic. Those three players, they're equally gash, really. But Jesse Lingard, those three players, they don't deserve to be at Manchester United anymore, in my opinion. He scored the goal. Credit where credit's due, like I said. He scored the goal against FK Astana today. Well done, Jesse. Didn't have enough bottle in the second half to get United back into it, though. It's a bit harsh, you know. He's actually done all right today, Jesse. Fair play to you. You know, you can only play the opposition you're playing. You can only score a goal against the opposition you're playing, and the manager selected you. It's not really his fault, is it? But Solskjaer, don't select him in the first team, okay, anymore. He's not good enough. I don't care if this performance has made you question whether or not he should be in there. He absolutely should not. He shouldn't be in there. But that's my opinion. It's a strong opinion. I know a lot of people have the same opinion, because let's be real, he's done nothing for 12 months. Get gone. That's what I'd say. Him and Phil Jones, see you later on, pals. But he did score today, so credit where credit's due. Gary Wells comments, Lingard scores and we lose. Says it all. Just wanted to read that comment out from Gary. We'll get into your comments and stuff in a few moments after I've finished chatting COD about the game. But yeah, Gary, you bring up a great point. I mean, Jesse Lingard, captain in the side. You absolutely know you've got a shit team out if Jesse Lingard's your captain and your most experienced player on the pitch. Crikey. I never thought I'd see the day when Jesse Lingard's the big name on the starting sheet. Do you know what I mean? But he was today. He did actually do all right. He scored a goal and he played all right. Fair play to him. Their keeper in the second half, by the way, put in a blinding performance. Freaking the ghost of Eric Cantona, except for a goalkeeper, in between the sticks for Astana. Again, denied a really good Gomez free kick in that second half. Denied a really good Greenwood opportunity in that second half. Some really key saves by their keeper in the second half to deny us, to be fair. So the lads did still keep going. The lads were trying to create, but it just didn't flow as well as it did in that first half. It was a bit of a lacklustre second half. The young players showing their inexperience, the lack of fluidity in the side was evident to see. Maybe they don't know each other, they don't play each other a lot. What I would say is I wasn't that impressed with the older players in the squad that played. And what I mean by that is players like Luke Shaw. To be fair to Luke Shaw, he actually set up the opportunity for Tahith Chong's absolute gilt-edged sitter of a miss. So Luke Shaw did deserve to get an assist on the sheet tonight. He did. He didn't though, because Tahith Chong's mared it. But also his all-round general performance, I was not really impressed with that. I'm hoping Brandon Williams is going to be the man that Solskjaer really does keep putting the faith in terms of the left-back for United's first team. Even though he's a young 18, 19-year-old lad, and Luke Shaw's got more experience, he's coming back into it. To me, he's already a better player than Luke Shaw. Sure, we've only seen 5 or 6, 7 games, whatever, from Brandon Williams, but damn, he looks very, very solid. Luke Shaw doesn't give you that much going forward, in my opinion. He's quite good going forward, but he's not amazing. He's not absolutely amazing. And defensively, I think he leaves a lot to be desired. I think his work rate and motivation and stuff's in question. Maybe the character's a little bit in question. Whereas with Brandon Williams, he's putting his body on the line. He's working his absolute socks off. He looks solid as a rock defensively. And he scored a great goal the other day. Could be good going forward for United. So for me, he's the answer at left back. Luke Shaw's done all right today, but I don't want it to be a case of trying to play his way back into the side. I want to see Solskjaer have the faith in Brandon and, not so much in Luke Shaw at the moment. Navan23 comments, do you rate Luke Shaw? To answer your question just quickly, Navan, I mean, I do rate Luke Shaw. I think he's a decent player, but he's never really lived up to it for me. We bought him, we got him for a lot of money. 26 mil, was it? Something like that. For a young 18-year-old at the time, it was a lot of money. It just doesn't seem like that much these days. He had that injury, of course, which definitely hindered him. At times, he's looked like a really great player for United. At times, I thought, you know what, Luke Shaw's going to crack on and have a great season, and he gets an injury here or whatever, and it's just derailed his career a little bit. He's a great player when he wants to be. He's not good enough consistently enough. It's the same old story with a lot of United players. Until I see otherwise, Brandon Williams is a better fit for me at left back. He just seems better. Buster B comments, we need Chilwell. Chilwell's a great player, to be fair. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him in an England shirt, and also for Leicester, he's just consistent, great delivery of a ball from him. I really rate him. Yeah, Chilwell, fantastic, would be a fantastic signing. But let's give Brandon Williams the opportunity for the rest of the season. Left back is not the position we need to strengthen desperately right now. We know we need a couple of midfielders. We know we need a winger and a striker. So that's further down the line that we could possibly look at that. But certainly Chilwell's a fantastic, handy player. Definitely, we could definitely do with him. Right, let's talk about the rest of the game then. So yeah, we've succumbed to them 2-1. They've done us with a couple of great counter-attacking moves, to be fair. Unfortunately, Deschamps Bernard has gone down as the own goal for United. It's going to be a depressing performance for him because he's got his name on the score sheet in all the wrong reasons. He almost scored an OG before he scored the OG as well, so he was trying to score an OG, to be fair. But it's gone down as a Deschamps Bernard own goal. But great to see these young players starting the game. Look, I know I've had a bit of a negative rant about it. I just wanted to tell you how I felt about the second half performance. Thought it was a bit poor. Maybe Solskjaer could have done with a few of the more experienced, bigger name, more experienced, like quality players to just call upon, have a few players, bring them on. I don't know, like players like Juan Mata, who hasn't really played much recently, who could maybe just come on as a late substitute because he's got that intelligence, he's got that technique. He's a much better player than these Kazakhstani farmers who they're coming up against, for instance. So maybe he could then get us back into the game, or some of the other more experienced players. That's what I'm saying. That's my only criticism of the team. I can't really criticise the youth playing. I'm happy that he's played the youth. It's a game that we didn't really need to win. Have a little Christmas present, FK Astana. Do you know what I mean? Very nice. Very nice. Have one of those. You're welcome. Merry Christmas, guys. Any Kazakhstani people tuning in, it's all just a bit of banter, but, love to you all and Merry Christmas and all that good stuff, because we just gifted you a bloody win here by playing our youth, by playing our inexperienced players there. But it's nice to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer putting the faith in the youth. Just would have liked to have seen a little bit of tinkering in that second half to maybe get us back into the game a little bit better than we did. Yeah, let's talk about the positives of the game. Let's talk about the positive performances there. Nice to see Lee Grant playing a game. That's a positive in itself. Did all right for a while. Still conceded 2 at the end of it. Bit of a shame, but he did all right. Defensively, second half, we were ropey as, really rough. The way they ripped us open and countered us down the right, especially piss poor. Where's Luke Shaw? Bang average. There you go. In terms of the positives from United's team, though, Tahith Chong did well in the first 45 minutes before missing a truly gilt-edged opportunity and becoming the absolute melter of the match by missing that bloody sitter that Luke Shaw's put on a plate for him. It still pisses me off, Tahith. Come on. Any professional footballer worth their salt should stick that one in. It does happen, though. It does happen to the very best players in the world. So don't just jump on him and say he's finished. I saw a couple of people in the show, the watch-along, say, Tahith Chong's finished. He hasn't even got started yet for United. Let's be honest. He's a young lad. Give him a bit more time and some opportunities. Thought he did well in that first half before that. I thought Angel Gomez was very lively throughout, creatively, wherever he was, down the right, down the left, through the middle, doing a good job of transitioning. I thought Jesse Lingard was very good at that, actually, about just getting the ball in midfield and taking it forward and having an outlet. In that first half, Jesse Lingard's done a good performance, so fair play to him. Crazy to say that, but Jesse Lingard actually did pretty well. Who else looked good? Yeah, Baird looked good. I wasn't overly impressed with anybody else, I'll be totally honest. There we go. We've lost the game, though. 2-1 to FK Astana. A truly terrible result. Where do you think it went wrong? I guess the Chong moment will be highlighted because that would have been the difference between us going 2-0 up and cruising. And then they go up the other end and get the equaliser. JP comments, losing to Astana in the Europa League and struggling to get a result against Sheffield United. Is there any positives worth asking about? Fair enough, Jay. I mean, what you have to remember is we've already qualified for the latter stages of the Europa League. This is really an experimentation game for Ollie. He wanted to give the players that haven't featured at all a really good opportunity to go and learn something and play against a good level opposition with lots more experience than us. And, try and maybe find a couple of gems in there as well. So I can't really fault Solskjaer's decision for the team. It would have been nicer if we'd got the result. But I just think it's actually a positive that we've gone out there and played all these young lads and tried something different and given these opportunities to young players. That is what United should be about, is trying to bring players through. And it wasn't really a a must-win game. It wasn't a must-win game. So I know what you're saying. It's not the most positive. The Sheffield United result was terrible. This one, the result is absolutely bloody terrible. But it could have gone a different way. If Chong had scored that second for us, the young players would have come out this game with real confidence and real pride. As it is, we've left with our pride not so intact. We've left with a bit of a kick in the bollocks in terms of confidence. But it's not the first team, is it? There was a few first team players featuring in this entire squad. Everyone else is like under 23s, under 18s. Really young squad that we've got out. So I'm just happy that they played a game of football in a game that wasn't a must-win. Shame we didn't win it, though. Thank you very much. Let's read your comment then, Razak. He comments, we might have qualified, but we're going to get destroyed in the next stages. Yeah, I mean, I'm not feeling overly confident about winning the competition this season. It's a route in, it's a way into Champions League qualification for next season. But I don't see us winning it either. There's better teams in it than us at the moment, I'm afraid to say. And there's a couple of other teams that, of course, will be coming from the Champions League into it. So it's difficult for United to win it this season. Not to say that we couldn't, but the coach that we've got, the squad that we've got, he's not a coach that's really known for winning cup competitions, is he? He's not been in management that long. The squad doesn't have the necessary calibre of player in it throughout, especially in key positions right now. Hopefully it'll improve in January, but as it is, not good enough to really mount a serious challenge, I don't think, for that sort of European time. I'm just a realist. I just think our squad is quite a considerable way off. Our midfield is too shit to win a European competition. Pete Miller, how you doing, my friend? He comments, it's the C team and the match doesn't matter. Yeah, you make some great points there. The young players, you're right, it's the C/D squad. Do you know what I mean? It really is. So they're so young, lots of them making their debuts, all the debutants in there today, and there were a lot of them, you know, Laird and Bernard and Grant made his debut in the goal there for United at 36 years of age, and Levitt, and yeah, lots of debutants in the side today. So look, it wasn't like a seasoned team we put out there. It's actually probably better than the last performance we put up against Astana. I know we had a bunch of young players in that game as well, but it's probably better than the performance we put in against them last time around in terms of the style and the fact that we are playing so many inexperienced kids. So I say fair play to you. Illy United, how you doing, matey? Comments, Levitt is a good player. Yeah, I thought he did a decent job. I've not seen anything from him myself personally, really, up until this point. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited that we gave these opportunities to these lads, and hopefully some of them will come through and be quality players for United again. Sheila Boy comments, if one or two players can become first team players for the next 5 to 8 years, it's a good night. A poor result can always produce a gem. Look at Brandon. Oh, I'm loving the positivity there, Sheila Boy, and you're absolutely right. Like some of the performances, like Laird at right back, Laird at right back done a good job tonight. I'm like quite happy about giving Laird an opportunity at some point now, so I think he might go up and step up. Sure, we've got Wan-Bissaka, sure we've got Diogo Dalot, but it's nice to have other options and good youth players coming through. And there's a lot of other players too. I mean, let's not forget that Greenwood is still only 18 years of age. He's such a young lad. So there's great players. Angel Gomez looked positive tonight, I thought. Isaac Vidagrain comments, Lingardinho, he's loving what he saw from Jesse. Rolling back the years to his very best tonight was Jesse. Captaining the side out there to get himself a goal. But just like Jesse, he's captained the team to a loss. Captain Clune comments, Lingard's still learning, needs more time, one for the future. Oh, days, yeah. He's been snubbed for Young Player of the Year. He's been snubbed for the Golden Boy, hasn't he? Snubbed for the Golden Boy this year. They've only gone and given it to João Felix. Have they not been watching European football for the last year? João Felix, Jesse Lingard, it's not even comparable. Look at that performance today from Jesse. It was stunning. Anyway, no, he's bloody useless, isn't he? Let's be real now. And he's not young. He's like 26 years of age, actually, now. So 27, 26, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he should be better than he is. He should 100% be better than he is. Ilya says, Lingard out, crap player. I mean, I would like to see him ushered out the door very, very soon indeed as well, I must say. So I'm 100% with you on that one. Isaac comments, been following you for years, never change. Ha! Isaac, thank you very much, pal. Same goes to you, top man. Andy Williams, Shaw needs to be sold. He's been here so long, he's gone backwards. We need a new left back. Yeah, I mean, we could certainly pick up a new left back in maybe the summer. For now, Luke Shaw, good backup to have. I'd like to see Brandon Williams given the opportunities, as I mentioned earlier, at left back for United now, because I just think he's got a better potential, and he's already better than Luke Shaw, in my opinion. And tries harder and wears his heart on his sleeve type of player. That's more my sort of player than Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's still a decent player, still got something to offer us. Ashley Clunge is going to be gone soon, shouldn't even be anywhere near the conversation anyway. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I don't think Luke Shaw's the man for our Manchester United side at left back for the next 5 years. I just don't think he's the right man. Patrick Quinn, how you doing? Comments, can upset losing to Astana even with the answers. That's piss poor. It just proves that the youngsters are no good and we're in massive trouble, especially with the Glazers not letting Ollie sign anyone. I mean, you know, you can look at it negatively if you want, but you can also look at it positively. Patrick, we were 1-0 up. If Tahith Chong slots that sitter in, which he should do 99 out of 100 times, then we win that game. And we're all talking about the good positive performance of the youth players. So, and you have to remember, we did start that game with a bunch of debutants, like people making their actual debuts, no firepower, no strength, no familiar names on the bench whatsoever either. It's like, you know, we didn't set ourselves up necessarily to go and win that game. We just set it up to go out there and experiment and give game time to as many young players as possible. So, you know, fair enough. Fair enough, I respect your opinion. Mr. Garrett, great to see you back as well. Comments, good to see you back, Pig. Thank you very much, mate. Great to have you in here, Mr. Garrett. Matt Lewis says, these kids will come through at some point. Today, just not the one. Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of good performances in there, though, wasn't there? You know, Gomez positive, Led positive. Who else was there? It's not that many positives, but it was decent enough anyway, is what I'm saying. And it was just an experiment more than anything. Stephen Shorrock says, come on, Wills. JP says, Jimenez scored. Nice. Don Vito says, always nice to come back to a 2-1 loss against Astana. It's not great, is it? It's absolutely not great. The Primo comments, in 4 years, we will be smashing it. The old ebb and flow of sports. Yeah, you might be right. We've got a good young talent of a crop of young talents coming through. Forget the players that are on the pitch today. I'm just talking about the players that are already sniffing around the first team, that are good young players, like Rashford, who's 21, like Brandon Williams, who's 19, like Greenwood, who's 18. You know, there's a lot of young players at United who are really going to turn on and improve and become quality players over the next few years. Right, lads and lasses, I'm basically going to wrap this video up now. Just a short one from me today. We've lost to Astana 2-1. It's absolutely bloody gash-tastic, and it was a pitiful second half, and it was a pitiful miss by Chong, and it was pitiful the way we let them just have their farmer way with us in that second half. It was a little bit poor, but I'm happy that we gave the experience to the young players. It was not a must-win game. It was just an experiment, wasn't it? It was an experiment, and it's gone a little bit wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you're in chemistry class and you mix frickin', you know, hydrogen peroxide with a bit of frickin', you know, iodine and a little bit of, I don't know, like Laurentium. Nobody had Laurentium in your school chemistry class, but I'm just saying, you mix all this cocktail of shite together and it sort of creates a bit of a mess, and it doesn't really do what you want it to do, and maybe you breathe in a bit of noxious gas at the same time, and it gives you a bit of a headache. That's the sort of thing that happened today. It was an experiment. Who knows, we could have produced gold from it. That's the point. Ollie's trying to create a little bit of alchemy tonight, you know? He was trying to be an alchemist, and he was trying to create some gold. Unfortunately, all we've ended up with is a steaming pile of mess on the floor that's actually starting to seep into the room below. Right, guys, what the hell am I talking about? I'm going to wrap it up now. Thanks to you all for stopping by for the post-match reaction for the Astana game. 2-1 we've lost. Come on, United, sort it out. Let's get on the up. We've got Aston Villa coming up. We've got Spurs coming up. We've got some must-win games coming up, so we've got to bloody must-win those games. Do you know what I mean? Forget about this game. We've rested our first-team players. There's no excuses for the next couple of games. We've got to do well. JP, shout-out to you. Gary Wells, Razak, Matt Lewis, Sheila Boy, Stephen Shog, everybody else. Thank you for stopping by and tuning in. Richard James, Patrick Quinn. You're a bunch of bloody legends. Do us a favour, if you're in here for the post-match show, please do us a favour, smash a cheeky little like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game tonight. If I haven't responded to you in the live chat here, come back in a few minutes, get your thoughts in the not live comments, and I'll respond to you in due course. Shout out Isaac Weidegrain, shout out Marek Stachowski, shout out the Primot, Alex Rudd, of course, how could I forget you? Thank you to everybody for tuning into the show. You're a bunch of actual legends. Anyway, I'll see you very, very soon. Do us a favour, smash a like on it and subscribe, and follow me on social media there if you're that way inclined. And just want to say once again, thank you for all the support lately. You're a bunch of legends. I forgot actually to put the Patreon credits at the end of the watch along. I just remembered that I was supposed to do that. So here they are now. Shout out to everybody that supports the channel any way which you do. So I know some people buy some merchandise, some people get involved in the chat and tune in every week, some people send super chats and all this good stuff. Whatever you do, thank you so much. But special shout out to all the people that do support the channel on Patreon. There's a link in the description. If you're that way inclined, the option's there. Thank you very much, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take it easy. Have yourselves a bloody good one. Come on, United. But at the end of the day, it was a bit gash. See you soon. Take it easy. This is the pig. Come on, United. That's not the Star Wars music. Hang on a sec. How does the Star Wars music go again? I don't like that one. I much prefer the dun 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 dun. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is the pig. Much love to all you guys, all you lads and lasses. One love. Take it easy. I'll see you soon. And peace.